What's up, baseball players? I'm Coach Dan Blewett. In today's video, let's go over some flexibility and mobility drills for baseball that will be really helpful, especially if you're at the high school age or beyond, where you're starting to sort of like fill out, get more muscular. And with that typically comes less flexibility. So obviously, us old men, I'm 36 as of this taping, as you start to get stronger, you just sort of tighten up. When you're, 14 and under, you're very flexible. You physically have more space in your joint when you're a kid, and all of your joints as a kid. But as you reach adulthood, you just sort of like tighten up, especially men. And we need a lot of times drills and throwing drills and just more focus on getting that flexibility and mobility back. So in today's video, I'll give you my 5 favorites, kind of combination of different things that will help you restore your flexibility and mobility, which can also help you hit the ball harder, throw faster, all that good stuff. All right, so if you're new here, I'm Coach Dan. Check out the description links below. You'll find my brand new book, Clean Your Cleats, which was written for ball players. So if you're really serious about your career and you want to understand who you are as a player and how you can get farther in this game, definitely at least listen to the sample chapters. I've released 3 of them, and pick up a copy of the audiobook or the paperback if you like it. So you'll find all that stuff and more in the description below. So first two, we're going to start with throwing drills. So we're going to do reverse throws and the square hips drill, which is one of my favorite. Both of these drills are sort of like constrictive. So your feet are planted and your hips aren't going to move too much. And because of that, you're going to get into your upper body more and start to get some of that like thoracic mobility. Thoracic mobility is your thoracic spine is the middle section of your spine. And that one has more mobility than like your lumbar spine, which is not designed to move a lot. So some thoracic mobility drills are really helpful in helping you sort of get that shoulder hip separation that you need and continuing to stay mobile as you get older. I did these first 2 drills in my last 5 years of pro ball, and they really helped me loosen up as the first part of my catch game. So let's go over reverse throws and square hips drill throws. All right, this is the reverse throw. So if my partner, my throwing target is directly this direction, so straight this way, I'm going to make a line between my ankles so that my throwing arm is on the side of my partner. Then I'm going to angle my feet just a little bit more backwards. So instead of being 12 o'clock, I'm going to be 1 o'clock to my partner. If I was a lefty, I'd be this way. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to start here at my glove. I'm going to rotate across the opposite wrong way. And I'm going to try not to stick the ball behind my back. So I'm going to keep my hands down, pull my shoulder blades back, rotate back through, and finish. So if you come up on your feet, you rotate a little bit, that's okay. And as I finish, I'm going to rotate all the way back and follow through towards my glove side of my body. All right, this is called the square hips drill. And in this one, I'm going to have my lower half, knees and toes straight ahead. I'm up on my back foot. My lower half is still going to stay stable, so it's not going to rotate. Everything's going to stay straight ahead. I'm going to start with my hands at my chest. I'm going to break my hands down, pull my shoulder blades back as my glove arm starts to roll out. Glove arm is going to tuck, and then I'm going to make my throw. So very simple. The keys with this drill are keeping your lower half straight while your upper half moves away from it. This helps work on shoulder hip separation. And it's also a really good stretch and one of the good first couple warm-up drills you'd want to do when throwing. Okay, so those are typically 2 drills you can do to start your catch play, and you might have seen either of them used in different sort of scenarios elsewhere, but I like them really just more as flexibility and mobility. They can also be used for like arm path and fixing some of your mechanical stuff. But if they do nothing else for you and you're really strict about the form, like not letting your hips move too much and only moving your upper body, then they can have a really good impact on your flexibility and mobility. The next one is a stretch. This is the hip opener stretch. And I'm going to tag along my Spiderman stretch series, which I didn't invent, but it's something that I've used for 20 years. But these 2 stretches combined are a great sort of like yoga flow movement, and they can really help you get deeper into your hips and start to loosen them up. Because if your hips are really tight and inflexible, it's kind of like having like a, like a rusty axle or like a rusty wheel in your car. It's just not going to spin as smoothly, and you're going to lose power from your engine into that squeaky kind of sticking wheel. So definitely want to think about your hips. So let's do the hip opener and the Spiderman series of stretches. So this stretch is very difficult. It'll have a really strong stretch in the side of the hips. Number one goal is to be very gentle. I'm pushing down on my knee very gently, but you want to get your both hip bones essentially sitting flat on the ground and you sitting pretty straight up. So with good posture, that's number one. You'll get a good stretch just from doing those two things, keeping your hips on the ground and keeping your chest tall. And then the other thing is, as you see me cross over, very gently push down on that knee. But again, you need to be really careful and mindful of your knees and your ankles, because in this sort of pretzeled position, there can be some strain flowing through them. So be really careful, really gentle, and a lot of times just sitting up with good posture is enough to get a really good stretch. All right, so the Spiderman stretch or the Spiderman series, you're going to take a big step up like you just saw me take. You got to get really, really close so that your knee is close to 90 degrees. And then you're going to rotate up with the same side hand as you saw. Then you're going to center yourself under your leg and push your knee back as far as it'll go and pop your front toe up. That's crucial. You get a great hamstring stretch doing that. And then you'll repeat, return your foot, sink in here. This is also a great hip stretch right there. Then rotate up and you'll get that upper body, that thoracic rotation stretch. And then you'll also do the hamstring stretch on the other side. So again, pop the toe up, push the knee back gently. This is a really, really good stretch. If you only had time to do one thing, this would probably be it, because it hits a lot of different muscle groups. All right, the next one is another thoracic mobility stretch, and this one is called the Sidelying thoracic mobility stretch. Doesn't have some fancy name, but you lay on your side and you really have to sort of work back and forth to stretch your upper body out. And again, we're trying to get that sort of separation of our hips and our upper body, which typically comes from your thoracic section of your spine. So this is the Sidelying thoracic stretch. So this is probably the best stretch for working your thoracic mobility, which is, again, your thoracic spine is the upper part of your spine, the upper section of your trunk. And so you're holding your knee down. This is critical. You can see my left leg is laying underneath. It's relatively straight. And then my right leg is crossed over, and I'm holding that knee to the ground. And then I'm trying to rotate my right shoulder blade. And I'm trying to press my right shoulder blade to the ground. That's important. If you let that knee up, then you can really cheat the stretch. So don't do that. And then once you're done, you want to flip over. So cross the other leg over top and rotate the other way, as you'll see here. All right, my last stretch, this one I really love. This is called the double diamond. This will get your hip flexors. This will get your thoracic mobility. And this will also get like your psoas a little bit, which is one of these little muscles in your hips that can get kind of tight. This is a really great stretch, one of my long-term favorites. This is called the double diamond. All right, so the double diamond is a great stretch. So you've got to put your foot to your quad. You can do this in cleats most of the time. You just need to be careful to just see how it feels. But you're going to push sort of your foot into your quad, and you're going to rotate, use the ground and sort of rotate yourself away from that knee. And then you're going to flip over and do the other way. But you'll feel this stretch through your core, through your hips, and through your hip flexor. It's a really, really great stretch. One of my favorite. All right, so I hope all those different drills help, especially if you're older, if you're high school and you've really like filled out, or you're a college pitcher, or you're an adult league pitcher. These drills can be a really great addition to your routine. So try them out, give them a chance, especially if you do them consistently, like 3 days a week or more. They're going to make a big impact. I had really tight hips when I was in college. I did yoga, I did hot yoga, I did all these different stretches that I learned from different doctors and their PT staff, and they made a huge impact. And I'm pretty flexible, and I've maintained that flexibility over the years. And you just feel like you move better when your hips are free to do what they want to do. If you have really tight hips, especially, or you're tight through your upper body, it just is a lot harder to pitch and get the shoulder hip separation that you need, both as a hitter and as a pitcher, to be as powerful and explosive as you want to be. And then last note, if you love this, these couple drills, my pro routines package. It's an online course with all this different guidance of different routines, getting ready for a game as a pitcher. It's got sprint and agility training. It's got warm-ups, arm care, all that stuff. You can find that below. So if you want to learn more about all the different routines that I've put together that you can just take and use right away, check out the Pro Routines course, which you'll find again in the description below. So thanks again for watching. If you're new here, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I will see you here in the next video.